Welcome to another episode of Pels and the Blender. It's your boy A Davis coming to y'all on this beautiful Monday morning, trying to give you another episode. We're gonna dive into Trey Murphy, man. The summer league's now over. We just gotta look at our rookies and some of our second year players, and we kind of have an idea not necessarily what to expect, but we kind of saw them put some of their skills on display. So that part of the season is out the way. So now the next time we'll be able to see the players is going to be in October for preseason, training camps around the corner, stuff like that. We've already had the Derek Queen injury. He just had his procedure, supposed to be back sometime in October. We got a couple players obviously coming off of injury, so we'll keep posted on things as we get new information about that. But what we do know is who's on the roster, who's probably, unless something insane happens, obviously, who's probably gonna be there to start the season. And other than Zion, I'm willing to say that the second most important player on the team is Trey Murphy. And I kind of want to jump into his game a little bit. I've been doing some of these and I'm gonna keep doing them like the little player reviews and expectations and stuff like that. And kind of see how we can slot this player in and what they can bring to the team next season and what it is what our expectations should be for that particular player based on the circumstances they're going to be in. So I kind of want to start by talking about Trey, his progression over the last, it's going to be year 5 for Trey, so over the last 4 seasons. You saw early some star potential in Trey. And anytime Trey had extended opportunities, Trey would excel. Now, the thing about Trey, he's always been a really good shooter, tall. So the potential to be, he's always been athletic. Um, as a defender, he needed to improve. As a playmaker, he needed to improve. It was a lot of as a rebounder. He still needs to improve. But we can say a couple things about Trey. He's always been a good shooter, and he's been relatively clutch, and he plays pretty big in big moments when this team has had big moments. He hasn't been the one that you've been concerned about when like whether or not a guy's gonna show up, which is saying a lot to be honest. So with coming into this particular season, we got Trey Murphy, the first year of the new extension, you 20, but it's 25, 28 million, something like that, 20, $25 million man. BI is no longer here, so we know for sure that you the starting. I don't know if you want to call him a two, you know what I mean? Maybe the starting two guard, I guess. Um, and bruh, we need Trey Murphy to be what it was we saw at the end of when he came back for last season. And the seasons before that, he played well, but what he showed in that stretch of games, last season when he came back, he played 53 games last year. Average 21. He started the year out on injury because he hurt the hamstring going right into the season. So that set him back. But you were able to see how he was working on his game and the steps that he took from being somebody who needed players to create for him, and he was reliant upon players like CJ and Zion and Herb to a degree with creating some in their playmaking ability, JV's playmaking capability to create for him. Trey Murphy put the work in over the summer, worked on the handle, worked on the playmaking, worked on his shot creation, and took a major step, in my opinion, from last season to this season. Over the last, so and again, he did get extended minutes, but last season, Trey played 35 minutes a game. That's the most minutes, you know what I mean, Trey's played, and you saw the production jump to 21 points per game like right around 4 rebounds and 4 assists, something like that. So that's a significant jump from the previous 2 seasons where he averaged 30 minutes a game and only averaged 14 points a game. So like we kind of have to understand that like that jump, and granted it did come with more minutes, but that jump came with not a full complement of players next to him. He played a lot of games without Zion or a lot of games without Murray. Like the team was never fully healthy. So Trey was doing a lot of this as the number one option, the focus of the defense. And yes, the team wasn't winning, but that experience for Trey Murphy should carry him a lot further, because it's been times where he's had to step in, when BI has been out and be the number two, or when Zion has been out and be the number two. And he's been able to do that. That experience last season of being the number one option and having to still create and score and trying to be the best player on the team, even a bad team, like that that experience should carry him a long way coming into this season. And I think we should be expecting a pretty significant jump from Trey Murphy this year. So the question I pose is Trey Murphy going to be an all-star? Like, could we see Trey Murphy become, the clear number two? We know we got Jordan Poole, but can Trey Murphy become the clear number two on the team and establish himself as, a 20 to 23 point scorer and a clear guy in the league that if Zion does what he's supposed to do, if we could get these guys, if we could get Z and Trey to play enough games, I mean, I think you need at least 65 games from Z, and I need at least 55 to 60 55 to 65 games from Trey. You need Z more so, obviously, being the best player. But if we could get 55 to 60 games of Trey as well, upward of that 70 number clearly. But if you could get that, then I think you'll see this team clearly slide into clearly be a playoff team based off what it was Trey did last season. So we're gonna pull up some of the Trey film and just watch how different Trey was moving last year. I don't think people understand how different Trey was moving on the court. Like he was able to not only take players off the dribble, which he struggled with previously, take players off the dribble, get all the way to the rack, finish stronger than he had been finishing before. It's not that he couldn't go in and dunk on people and stuff, but Trey was getting down to the lane. He was Euro stepping guys. He was driving in, shooting his little short floater, using his step back pull up, shooting more mid range shots. He still was shooting the long 30 footers and stuff like that. I don't always love those shots, but when you go over the film and then we understand sometimes the limitations of the offense, you got to get in where you fit in. So Trey developed so much of his game, and we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and start some of this film, bruh. Trey was moving, and all of these are plays from last season. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Gotta mute that. Look, you see Trey drive, finish over the top of people. Hand down, too much space. I can shoot from out there. Trey was on no hesitation last season. Come down, too much space. I'm shooting that. And when it took him a little second to get in the rhythm, but when he got in the rhythm, you saw the game developing. Like Trey couldn't do this last year. Handle, tween, blow by, stop in the mid range. Like that's a great play for Trey. Behind the back, stop, nobody step up. I'm shooting that. Look, even more patient on. He has more ability to create his own looks. I'm not dependent on the screen. You know what I mean? I'm not catch and shoot only. Look at that athleticism. They just throwing it at the rim. Trey going to get it. Trey has really become a legit 3-level scorer. Now I'm wondering with him being injured with the shoulder, is he going to be able to Is he going to be able to continue to expand on his game, or can we at least get back to this? Like Trey didn't have all this in this game before. This is literally the first time you're seeing that. Yep, always got a little clip in there. Oh, let's skip that. Let's go. Get back to these Trey Murphy highlights. Catch and shoot. Still got the catch and shoot at the buzzer. Throw it up over the top. Again, in 30 some minutes a game, if you get Z out there for an extended period, step back. Man, those Boston games, Trey Murphy was going crazy. He had his career high last year, 41 points a game, put 40 up on Boston in when they played in the blender. Trey got 2 games of hitting 10 threes or more. Yeah, I think it's 10 threes or more. 2 10-point, 3-point make games. Look, bump, strong, finish. Bro, I'm telling you. And another thing about Trey, that because we're talking about Trey possibly being an all-star, Trey has the kind of game that voters and fans are like, it's aesthetically pleasing to watch. It's not like overly flashy, but what people want to see, they want to see people shoot threes, dunk on people, and can you have a little bit of handle? And Trey's doing that. So I just wonder how much more he can improve on it. Come off the screen, go underneath, I'm shooting it every time. Smaller man on me, shoot over the top of him. These are all of the things you've been wanting to see from Trey. Trey could not do this not last season. I'm sorry, like 2 years ago, catching and shooting, not hesitating, and Trey's playing with the confidence. This is another thing because everybody talk about confidence as a ball player. Trey's playing with the confidence like he knows he's him, like he one of the ones. And when you playing with that kind of swag, like you not fearing nobody out there on the floor. Like you sitting there thinking you better than most of these dudes. He had a couple 40-point games last season, couple 30-point games last season. Like, would it be if he's in rhythm as the clear number 2 option and you got Z and Poole and Herb for a full season? Like, I could clearly see dunking that. Bruh, if he get any kind of space, it's typically money. And if you foul him, he shoot 90%. Too much space. Splash. Step back, 1-2, splash. Like trading. I know I keep saying Trey didn't have this in his game, but like even when I went back and was watching these, was like surprised at how Trey was moving last year. Like the step through Euros, taking people off the dribble. He just looks so much more comfortable on the floor operating in different spots. Like there used to be times where, you know, Trey was I don't want to say helpless, but just was extremely dependent. Extremely dependent. Now you know when they have those stretches where we might, hey man, Z might have gotten in foul trouble or something like that. You have a guy for a couple minutes in the game or for stretches in the game could possibly step in and be your number one. And if he takes another step at some point and adds to his game and uh just gets more consistent, which is the one thing that separates a lot of players is being able to perform at this level night in and night out. Or defensively, he takes another step, so it becomes a better rebounder. He does a couple of those things. You can absolutely see a world where Trey Murphy could be an all-star. Now, the team has to produce. The team has to produce, but finishing on both sides of the rim. Look at that, man. Drive, step, Euro. Gauge, step, Euro. Oh, my, step, Euro. Bruh. Look at these plays. Come down, splash. Not even hesitating. Splash. Too small, I'm dunking on you. And you know Trey played with that arrogance. I know I called it confidence early, but I mean, he looking at those dudes like lunch meat, man. Uh, bro, I'm telling you, a lot of people counting out the team, and like we got the biggest demon we got to face, and that's the help. But if those dudes are on the floor, like if they're on the floor, like you can see the path, like you can see the path. Look, Trey driving by, taking contact, finishing on both sides of the rim, float game, finger rolls. He's gotten so much better at finishing through contact. Because previously it used to either be a dunk or you ain't even have no chance. He's also doing a better job of getting fouled too. Pump, one dribble, shot. And I'm not gonna show some of these clips, but he was much better with his passing. Like the playmaking ability even took a step up. So if you add that into this game, I mean, and the reason I'm showing the scoring highlights is because this is what, like, more than anything, this is what we need from Trey to be the consistent number two. And I think this is what's gonna make him an all-star. So like what's the realistic possibility of him being an all-star in the Western Conference? It'll be tough. It'll be tough. You got J Dub made it last year with, averaging 21, 5, and 4, something like that. But I mean, the reason J Dub made it is because OKC was significantly better than everybody. And he's the number two player on the team. So if the Pels can, exceed some expectations and Trey's playing like and looking like this, he's clearly gonna be a reason for that success. And again, this is Trey's doing this with a lesser offensive coach. Like, imagine if we actually ran some sets or they actually were in position to be good with the X's and O's. Who knows what you might see from Trey Murphy? These guys, again, man, B.I. said we winning these games off talent. These guys are extremely talented. Bro, Trey was moving so different last year. The behind the backs were crazy. Hold on. Let me take these down for a second and we get ready to do a couple more. I got one more that I wanna play, and just kind of want to show how it was the Trey Murphy, the Trey game against Denver when he went for 40, bro. Trey was going crazy. Trey was going crazy, and it just showed a full game of how different Trey was able to, like how Trey was able to operate within the game, which is what matters. Here we go. Hold on, let me fix that. Fix that and start over. Bear with me. That's another thing. Taking the ball off the rebound, catch under the screen. I'm shooting that. I'm not even hesitating. And he played this game without Zion. You got Murray out there, but there was no Z. So again, he's the number one offensive option. On the break, space to the corner. Look, boom. One move, Euro. That's nasty, bro. That's nasty. Trey didn't Trey didn't look that, you know what I mean, that shifty before. Now that he add that, and I'm hoping that they clear him. They clear him early because, like, other than the shoulder, he's probably gonna be in better shape sooner into the season because he hurt the hamstring in training camp. So you know what I mean. It took him some time to come back. Then he had to work himself into shape with the injury he had, and having pretty much the entire offseason to finish to rehab. Like, we should see Trey coming into the season at a much faster starting point than he did last year, and he still played well. Was anxious to show his game. Look, smaller man, Derek White, one of the best defenders in the league, can't do nothing. Giving y'all buckets off the screen, bounce, stop behind the back, little man shoot over. That's all. Picking me up full. They got Drew picking him up full. It don't matter, bruh. They got Trey Murphy getting full court pressed by Drew Holiday. Breaks beats that, comes off the screen, shoots. Look, finishing inside. Porzingis down there, finishing that. Fine. He too late. He too late. I'm hitting that. Trey absolutely could make an all-star. Look at the game. Drive, step back. That's when you know he's feeling it. All in front they crowd. I mean, all in front they bench. I'm sorry. Step back. Look at him turn around. Say, bro, you got Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, and Tatum guarding you most of the game. We even threw that. Buckets. Buckets. Oh, look at the patience. Probing. Oh my gosh, man. This team got so much potential. Pass. Come on, hit that. There we go. Hit that. Off the screen. I could play off the ball, catch, no hesitation. Look at the spots. Shooting from the corner, shooting from the top, mid-range, ISO game. Jaylen Brown took the bump, step back. Now that's just because he was feeling it. That's crazy. He got the hot hand once, and that's another thing. Trey, one of those players. Once he get hot, say, bro, it could be lights out. CJ find Trey, jab him, bounce behind. He too small. He too small. Punishing him, bro. Trey Murphy catching an ISO with Derek White with less than 2 minutes left in the tie ball game, and he makes that play. Oh yeah, we got edge, y'all. On trip. Oh, that's the last play. That's the last play. So, man, I just wanted to highlight Trey Murphy real quick and put out some of the steps that he's taken and how we can expect Trey to take his game to another level, because like the season ended so long ago for us, and watching the Pelicans play significant basketball, that sometimes we really forget what these players looked like when they were playing. And yeah, we were losing, but at some point we didn't want to win games. These dudes came back. None of them were healthy for the entire season and stuff like that. So you have to give them a little bit of grace and just look at the game for what it was. Like, if you look at Jordan Poole's game for what it was and how he performed last year, that guy was a plus player and should be a significant player for a contending team. Similar to Trey Murphy. Like, Trey last year, like, should have been in the running for most improved. To be honest, if you look at the numbers and the level of production and stuff like that, just the team wasn't any good. So I think Trey can take another step, and that's not to say that the numbers are going to look significantly different, but possibly, who knows? If they can stay healthy, I think Trey absolutely can make a run at one of the All-Star spots in the West. The team just has to win. That's what it comes down to. And it's looking like if Trey is either what he was last season or can improve on that, and we have a healthy year. Now, look, Trey just got that money. I'm gonna be honest, man. Trey got to stay healthy. Trey been injured the last 3 seasons and missed some time. Now he's been there, towards the end and during the stretch. Other than and how he hurt his shoulder was, kind of a freak injury. So hopefully we can avoid all of that. But Trey Murphy is a star. The media loves him. He does the young man in the three. He's on ESPN and stuff like that. Nothing would make the league happier than have one of his young promising players take another step and make that all-star push. And I think we're gonna see that from Trey. So that's gonna wrap it for the day. Shout out to Trey and all of the hard work he's put in. Been a model of consistency. Has improved every season, and I think we'll see a lot more of that coming from Trey. Like Trey played 35 minutes, and like it almost seemed like he was never exhausted, nothing like that. Always comes prepared. And I think even though he's he's rehabbing the shoulder, I think we'll see Trey take another step in his game, um, and be able to produce. I'm telling you, man, between Z and Trey, that's your top two dogs this year. I think that's gonna be the reason that we have a really legit chance of making the playoffs. So that's gonna do it for me, man. Again, it's your boy Davis. Like, share, subscribe, comment. You know what I mean? And I'll let y'all know when we back with another one. Peace.